Tony Kaye suggested to me that they were doing a gig at the Forum in Los Angeles, which turned out to be probably the most embarrassing night of my life. And would I like to sit in? And I said yes immediately. I didn't think about it. What are we going to do? He said, well, we thought maybe you could sit in on two of the encores. And this is when the tour was very successful. And I said, yeah. I said, and then I spoke to Trevor Rabin, and Trevor said, well, we'd love you to do it. Are you going to do it? And I said, yeah, of course. And he said, oh, great, fantastic. So and nothing was planned. And I said, look, I've only got two stipulations, really, that we don't rehearse it because I like it to be spontaneous. I was going to play on Roundabout and some other piece. And I said, I don't even want to bring a guitar with me. Just have an extra amplifier on the stage with a guitar. I don't mind what color it is, what it is. Just have it there on the stand. Give me a roadie to guide me to the stage, plug me in, and I'll sit in. I mean, what could be simpler than that? One would think, nice gesture. There's no way I'm going to sound particularly good because the other guys know the material and I don't. But I diligently learnt the chords of Roundabout, which was not particularly difficult to play, and the other piece, whatever it was, I don't remember, and showed up at the gig. And in the meantime, LA is a particularly gossipy town, even at the worst of times or the best of times. The word had got round, and I was getting phone calls from people asking for tickets and backstage passes for this Yes gig. And I went, well, it's only me plus two. Sorry, I can't do it. They said, but you're playing. And I said, well, yeah, but I'm only sitting in. And then they announced it on the radio, special guest appearance by Peter Banks. And, already I should have smelt the smoke and just hadn't gone because it just sounded like bad news. Anyway, I get to the gig, and the weird thing is, there's a whole little entourage, not my entourage, but people that have come to see me reunite with Yes, and once again, I'm not happy about this, and some of them are backstage, and some of them they have this kind of members bar thing in the Forum. And a lot of people say, when are you going on? I said, well, I'm not really going on, it's just a jam thing. And then I go backstage, and it's half an hour before showtime, and Bill just walks past me and blanks me. This is not unusual, but I said, hi, Bill, and he went, oh, hi, I've got to go. No handshake, nothing. And I'd been to see Bill play with Crimson, and Bill had often got me into the shows and, with extra guests and all that kind of thing. So I was thinking, well, this is a bit odd. Then I run into Tony, and Tony's going, oh yeah, okay, yeah, and Tony doesn't have much time. And I'm thinking something is not quite right here. And then I saw Chris, and Chris just, oh, hello, I got to go, and like nobody's like saying, oh, it's going to be fun later. So I'm going back to this little bar area, and Billy Connolly's there, and he used to be a big Yes fan. I didn't know this, and I'm talking with him, and then Tony comes in and says, can I have a word with you? And I said, yeah. He said, you can't play tonight. And I went, yeah, sure, and I said, yeah, okay, I'm not bothered, like joking. He said, no, Steve doesn't want you to play. And I just said, well, fuck Steve, what about the other guys? What do you think, Tony? And I was very confrontational and not a little upset, very upset. I said, so what about Trevor Rabin? He said, oh, Trevor's okay. I said, well, so one guy gets to say that I can't sit in a band that I used to play in, and then just I'm not rehearsing anything. Steve is going to come out sounding much better than me. I don't even know what the balance is going to be. If you don't like my playing, just mix me out of it. This is the whole idea. Is I was asked to do this, and now you're telling me that I can't? And Tony goes, don't worry, it's cool. And I said, no, it's not cool. And then, of course, Tony disappears because he can see me getting really angry. And throughout that whole evening, I watched a couple of songs, and all the yes wives and girlfriends were right in front of me, and I'm just screaming at the band, "What a load of rubbish! Can't you play any different solos?" We've all heard in doing all this kind of thing deliberately within their earshot, and they're thinking, "Who is this drunken idiot?" You know, nobody knew who I was, which was nice. So I was completely anonymous, and I was just up for trouble. And I remember sitting in that bar after that. I didn't leave the bar at all, and Billy Connolly was there, and Billy wasn't drinking. He'd given it up. And he was very nice, and he was very sympathetic, because I told him what had happened. And he goes, "Oh, the rude buggers, you know, why are they doing that?" I said, "I don't know. I think it's because if I play with them, it gives me a better case to start suing for my unpaid royalties." And I still maintain that's the reason. To this day, I don't know what happened. Steve Howe denies that he ever said that I couldn't play with them. He said it was nothing to do with him. Everybody, Alan says, "Well, we wanted you to play. Why didn't you play?" All this kind of thing. And I just stayed in the bar with Billy and encouraging Billy to have more drinks. "Go on, have a vodka, have a whiskey, smell this." Terrible thing to do. And he just kept buying me drinks, and I was getting drunker and drunker and drunker and more angry. And I think I was entitled to that night. And I was ready for raising hell. And the weird thing happened after the show. And people are still saying, "Well, you didn't come on." You know, I said, "No, I didn't, because these unpleasant people, let's just say, wouldn't let me." You know, and I'm very humiliated, and I shouldn't be here. And it's the most insulting thing that anybody could do to me. And then I look round, and Steve Howe comes into the bar. Now, I'm literally ready to hit Steve. I mean, no two ways about it. I would have punched him out. I was so angry. He comes in with two roadies. He looks at me. He does a complete turnaround and walks out the door again. Probably saved what would have been a very embarrassing incident. And there would have been bloodshed. Definitely. That's how angry I was. Since then, Steve says that it was nothing to do with him, and well, who knows?